All right, what's up, everybody? This is George C.O.C. Samuels, the cultural animator, and I'm here today with Tyler Wellenseek of the State Library of Queensland.
G'day.
Hey, how's it going, Tyler?
Very well, mate.
Now, Tyler and I first met in Melbourne at the Palima Conference, which is a language and technology forum for the Indigenous, and that was actually thanks to Renee, right? I think it was
Yeah,
through her that we first met.
yeah.
Um, but from what I remember, you guys have published some wonderful contents for the Indigenous people of Cape York and the Torres Strait.
Mm.
And was just wondering if you could tell us a bit more about that work.
Of course I can, George. We have been opening Indigenous knowledge centres in some of the remote communities across Queensland since 2002, and where we've really started coming in and creating some different animated stories and that sort of thing is through some special school holiday workshops that we call Culture Love, and it's all about reconnecting kids with traditional stories and culture and doing it in a way that's really exciting for them. And what better than to go in and take a traditional story and turn it into an animation. And so, you get the workshops of them doing the art and drawing the characters and doing all the storyboarding. And some of the work that we've ended up with is really fantastic.
Awesome. And what got you drawn to this type of work? What got you inspired by it?
I guess I got really lucky ending up with this job. But of course, it's the people. Once you start the job and you go out and you meet the people in community and you get involved with some different projects like this, that's what really grabs you and keeps you passionate about it is seeing the smiles on the kids' faces and, ending up with the end product. We've got a series of animations titled Cape Treasures, and so they're from four communities in Cape York, Injinu, Pomperau, Wudjil Wudjil, and Lockhart River, and they've turned out really, really well. And so getting them back to the community, and they get to see the finished product, and the kids are squealing because they're so excited to see this project that they worked on. But it turns out looking pretty professional. And then on the other side of it. We host all of these on the State Library website, and so you do get feedback from, say, community members or family members who have moved south to Brisbane or, really anywhere across the world and have found this content on the State Library website and gotten really excited about having part of their culture preserved in this way.
And do you guys, how intimately do you guys work with the communities in terms of the production of these like cultural animations?
The way that we structure Culture Love, it's all about working with the communities. And so really from square one, talking to the community and making sure that they do have a story that would be appropriate to work with and, letting them choose what type of story that they want to do. We usually get an outside animator or arts worker to come in who then mentors local artists and really getting one-on-one with them and upskilling them so that hopefully down the line these sorts of workshops can happen without our presence. But working with them to then engage all of the kids, and the kids are doing the artwork and the storyboarding for the animation. So really we like to step back as much as we can and really just be there, the drivers, and giving them the tools that they need to help create this sort of thing.
Awesome. And now I remember you saying that in a past life you had a background in advertising marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a bit
One,
about that.
Well, once upon a time, I had a big dream of being a big journalist, and then realized that there are so many rules with journalism, and it might be a little bit more fun to get into advertising and marketing. And so, spent a good while over in America working with a few different companies on marketing plans and redeveloping websites and all that sort of thing. And so, when I landed myself in this role and started seeing some of the really incredible work that our communities are doing, and we've got some of these community libraries or knowledge centers that are really they're a hub for the community, and they're running homework sessions after school for the kids, and the adults are coming in and they're Skyping with their kids who are down at boarding school. You've got tourists coming in wanting to access Wi-Fi and use the iPads, and it's really just the whole gamut of stuff. But because these communities are so remote, unless you're going out there and seeing it yourself, nobody really knows very much about it. And so I guess what our latest project has been is developing a new blog for all the communities to access, and really start promoting all of their stuff, because I guess I went to my boss and said, look, mate, we got to spend some money and we got to shout this out to the world, all these fantastic things that are happening in these communities.
Yes.
And so really we're hoping to get a lot of the communities on board. For anybody who's listening, it's launching on the 23rd of October at ikc.org.au, and you'll be able to find all of our animations and that sort of thing up there as well. Right now we're working on populating all that content into the site structure.
Awesome, and I'll definitely include a link to that.
You better.
In the post. Oh, don't you worry, man. And after listening to some talks at Polyma, there did seem to be a growing concern over the issue of IP. I don't know if you remember that. And how do you guys sort of tackle this with the work that you do and the collaboration that goes on?
I guess there again, it's where State Library is really just empowering the communities. It's not actually our content. Yes, we are hosting it on the State Library website, and we are helping provide some of the funding and some of the tools that people need to make these things happen. But really, the copyright lies with the community, so with the council. And before we can actually host it on the State Library website, we've got to get in contact with council and make sure that they're happy with that. Get in contact with all the elders in the community, because they're the custodians of those traditional stories, and make sure that they're happy for that to be shared with the wider world. And we have had a few cases where they say, oh no, sorry that we're saying no, but this is really just for us. This is our knowledge and our content. We just want to keep this here for ourselves, and that's completely fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was actually going to be my next question too. Is that with some cultures and communities, when you're going in to help them preserve their stuff, some of them just want it for themselves. How do you guys tackle that bit? Do you just say, okay, we'll go away, or do you still work with them to help them produce their work, but just still, I don't know, how does it work?
We definitely still work with them to produce their content, and it's that much better if they come to us up front and say, oh, we've got this really important story, and we want to use this one for the workshop, and we want to preserve it as a recorded story or an animation or a recreation or whatever, but it's really just for us, and that's where the role of the Indigenous Knowledge Centre comes in, because that's the local place where it can act as a keeping place. And if it's a digital story, they'll keep it on a hard drive there as a master copy, and then have it accessible to watch in the Knowledge Centre and that sort of thing. And we're 100% happy to still help them, even if they don't want to share it out to the whole wide world. But what we've seen is, with a lot of things, times are changing, and I guess the Facebook era has done a lot for our remote communities, where a lot of photos and a lot of information is going online every day, and unfortunately, as some of our elders die off, that some of that guardianship over that and people wanting to keep it really close to the community and close to their hearts is changing a little bit, and they're more happy for people to have access to the information, because they're seeing the impact of a worldwide information network instead of just local information networks.
And I always try to get sort of like a balanced view on these projects, because I know there are a lot of areas that people aren't aware of when sort of getting into this line of work, You're laughing already. What are some of the challenges faced when doing these sort of cultural animation works?
Where do you start? I mean, I guess because you're engaging such a number of people, and obviously working with kids, anytime you're working with kids, you've got to be ready for just about anything. You've really just got to keep it pretty loose, and be pretty adaptive to whatever situation you find yourself in. You might have an auntie who was going to come and tell the story to the kids, but she forgot that she normally has nap time in the morning, so she's not going to come along today, but maybe in the afternoon. So you've got to be able to kind of restructure things on the fly, and keep people excited about the project.
It is a very unique atmosphere, isn't it?
Definitely. A little bit out of control sometimes, but that's the fun part.
I know, and especially like growing up in a Western society, you plan and prepare everything before, and then
Yeah.
when you get there, you just okay, forget
Whoa.
that.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. We'll just try something else, maybe. Yeah. A lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Okay. Next question I've got here is many content creators are on the lookout for funding for their creations. How do you
Mm.
guys approach funding for the work that you guys do?
I guess I can't tell you a whole lot about funding
Mm.
because a lot of that comes from the powers that be that are
Yes.
higher than myself.
Yep.
What I can tell you is that it's a really important thing to not turn away any money if it's not enough money for your whole project,
Mm.
but maybe it's enough money for your flights.
Yep.
That's all good,
Mm.
and really to let the people who you're sending your funding applications to realize that your passion is helping the people and really in that cultural preservation because there are a lot of funding bodies around Australia who are looking to help Indigenous people preserve their culture and their stories and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And put the word out to anybody and everybody
Yeah.
that this is what you're after. It's not just I want to go in and I want to make a movie and I want to take that movie away, as something for Western culture. Letting them know that it is for the community is the purpose of the project, and take any dollars and cents from anybody that's willing to offer them to you is my advice.
Yes. Awesome. And have you well, I know obviously the powers that be there got the money stuff sorted out for you guys, and you guys you just implement, which is awesome. But have you been keeping tabs on sort of the crowdfunding movement?
We have
Awesome.
actually, yeah.
And have you considered crowdfunding at all?
Yes, I guess because I don't look after that side of things.
Yeah.
We've had some discussions about it. It's a really exciting idea,
Yep.
And is definitely something that I could see us moving toward in the future.
Yep.
Because we do get such fantastic support from a huge range of people, really worldwide. Yeah, we'll see. Watch this space.
Yeah, well, awesome.
Chat with me next year and we'll see what's happening.
I look forward to it, man. And last but not least, what piece of advice do you have for folks who are looking to produce cultural animations of their own, or even get involved with an organization or body doing this type of work?
Best recommendation would be take all of your preconceived notions and throw them out the window. When you're working with a community, like I've said, it's really about them. And as long as the product is something that they are loving, don't worry if it looks 100% professional or is meeting all of the ideas that you had thought it was going to be. The whole thing is about the people in community, them working with the project and expressing their ideas in their own ways. And so even if you've got some Western ideas about how it should look, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the community is going to like the most. So
Awesome.
Leave it open, definitely.
Awesome. And is there any final thing you'd like to say? Let other viewers know about for the work you guys are doing.
If you don't know anything about the Indigenous Knowledge Centres here in Queensland, they go anywhere from Woorabinda and Cherbourg down by Brisbane, all the way up through Cape York, all the way through the Torres Strait to Boigu Island, only a stone's throw away from Papua New Guinea. So if you know anybody in community or really any Indigenous people in Queensland, get connected with your local Indigenous Knowledge Centre. There's all kinds of good content there for you to check out.
All right. Thank you very much, Tyler, for your time today. And definitely look forward to seeing what happens next with your projects. And in a year's time, who knows, you may be even doing crowdfunding.
Yeah, it could be. Sounds good, mate.
All right. Awesome, Tyler. Thanks again.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye.